As you know, the last time, you reached the mine, snuck your way up, things went bad, and then a lot of people ended up dying. Though you did level up, and you have scared the complete shit out of the owner of the mine.
Can we go back to the map? Or is the map dead?
You mean the
I'm on the
mine map?
map.
You're
You
wait,
mean
what
this
map are
map?
you? Oh,
Oh,
this map, yes,
we
this
don't
map,
really need to be
yeah.
on that map,
Yeah, you
really.
don't really need to be on this map right now.
Oh well, just
Nothing to do
sets
on
the
it.
scene.
Just
Alright.
sit in this map for now. So, now that all the people who are currently hostile towards you have been disposed of, and this guy is lying on the ground, kind of roughly propped up against the warehouse, breathing heavily, eyes wide with fear. What do you want to do next?
Shit in a handbasket, that was bad.
Oh yes, and just to remember, Carrick was just knocked out by a crossbow bolt and is only beginning to reopen his eyes, being bandaged by Beric.
Where
So,
did I get shot?
uh,
Uh
right shoulder, just between like kind of like your collarbone area.
There's also a crossbow
okay.
bolt in my leg.
Yes, you've also been shot.
Um, Removing the crossbow bolt would be a bad idea.
Yeah, it
But
would
I
be.
Can
can't
not
just.
just break the
Uh,
point off and pull the rest of it through? If it went straight through. I don't know if it
Yeah,
did
it
or not.
hasn't hit any bone. You were lucky.
Did it go straight through?
Well, it's the point is still in the leg. The like
Oh.
fletches are sticking out. It didn't go all the way through, but it's like struck
uh,
muscle, no bone.
Uh,
Shit. I don't know enough about TNT how to remove arrows safely.
Just roll a medicine check, and
Right.
Diddle-in-it.
we'll see
Pulls
how
it
it
back
I
out.
goes.
I need to
One,
open
rolls a
my
one, rolls a one.
my character sheet here.
Rolls a one,
Indeed, you do.
rolls a
Shut up, fucking jinx me.
diddle-in-it.
Okay, so
Ooh, a 9.
like as long as it's not a barbed bolt, then if you have enough bandages and probably something for the pain,
Pull the
then
cunt out, sure. Pull
you'll
it out.
be okay if you pull it out, as long as you
I
get some
don't
good
have
bandages on it.
don't have any bandages though.
You
So
could just use some scraps of cloth, though it'll be harder to stop the
From,
bleeding.
I don't know, the dead corpses over there.
can I search around for some decent scraps of cloth?
Oh yeah, like anyone you go to, you can just rip off a couple of scraps of cloth to
Right.
try and bandage
I
yourself up.
shall try to bandage myself. Do I need to make another medicine roll?
Yes, this will be to remove the bolt itself and then patch up the wound.
One. Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
so gritting your teeth, you can pretty quickly just yank the bolt from your leg, get the bandages and tie them as tight as you can around the wound. It is bleeding pretty bad, but it's not the kind of bleeding that's gonna kill you. It would kill you if you hadn't bandaged it up, but it's not super bad right now.
Okay. Hopefully it doesn't fester.
Yes, so you're both pretty decently injured at this point.
Yay.
It is roughly around like midnight though.
We've got business to take care of.
Can you deal with that crossbow bolt yourself?
Andrew, how bad is the one wound? Did it go all the way through, or?
No, yours is like it's still punctured into your shoulder.
Bone? Okay, right, okay.
It's
Medicine
You want me to
check!
pull it out for you?
Does he have to roll on my behalf, or?
it depends who's actually doing the treatment.
Can
So-
he pull a crossbow bolt out of his own shoulder?
If he does well on his medicine check, yes.
Let us see. Oh!
Okay,
By
so
the gods!
almost as if this same thing has happened to you before in your previous life.
I'm fully
You
healed.
just reach up, yank it out, press some bandages into the wound, well, some scraps of cloth into the wound, and then wrap it up really tight around your shoulder. It does hurt like hell, but you've
I
given
don't
it the
check.
best treatment you can in your current circumstances.
Why is it I always get like 20s right at the start of the night on something that's
Your
not
stamina starts running low near the end.
most critical?
Flies.
Yeah.
We'll just say those medicine rolls, like, they bandage up the rest of your cuts and scrapes.
Right.
Um,
Uh,
go over to young crying behind the corner here.
let's go back inside the cave.
He is,
Oh.
he is shaking, like, heavily, like, kind of rocking back and forth on the ground. Clearly traumatized by what's happened.
What weapon did he have?
He had a
Short
short sword, seems to you.
Wow, no better than what I have. Damn. Okay.
I hold him up, like sort of like,
Just lift him to his feet.
yep,
Okay.
and then I give him some water to drink.
Oh. That will cost you out of your water skin, which is running low from your current 3 days of travel. Okay, so lift the water skin up to his lips, give him a sip of water, and anything you want to say to him while doing this?
Pull yourself together, man.
He's just giving you a blank stare. The stare of you just murdered some of the people that I've known for a very long time stare. Hasn't said anything yet.
Where's the treasure you found in the mine?
What treasure? Why are you here? You killed my workers.
You find something in the mine, and we want it.
It's in the warehouse, in the chest. Just don't kill me.
Where?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
chest?
Key.
The warehouse is
Need
the
a key.
building you're standing like right beside,
Locked.
with him pressed up
Probably
against.
locked.
Where's the gold as well?
The gold? What are you talking about?
The gold,
Goddamn.
man. Where do you keep your gold?
All of our supplies are in the warehouse. There's nothing
Good.
else, just the warehouse, then the open storage just across the other side of the mine.
Come with me. Drag him into the warehouse.
He pulls out his keys, unlocks the door as you drag him across and then inside. The inside looks very similar to the outside, just like a log cabin built of some stacked logs. There's a lot of crates and boxes all around the room and a set of steps going to a upper floor.
I put him in a corner and just put him in the corner. Don't move if you value your life.
He isn't moving. He is still
Okay.
completely terrified.
Michael.
Kark, search the upper floor.
Okay.
I'll search down here.
Pretty sure this is pointless, Andrew, but if there's any hidden doors, do I have to do a
You'll
perception
need
check
to
for that?
make an investigation check.
An investigation check.
We'll do
I
this. Oh, that's pretty good.
You can do Macaulay first, upstairs.
So you go upstairs. So are you
Oh, I see.
specifically looking for hidden doors or anything?
I'm not looking for mostly anything out of the ordinary, but the hidden doors, yeah, just you might have a wee vault somewhere, I don't know.
The upstairs of the room just looks like a normal storage building. Just more crates and boxes. This one looks to be more where the business is done. Like there's a desk with a
Ah.
chair. That's where you see
There's a desk.
heavily, yes, a desk with a chair. Some papers scattered over the top. Most likely showing like the income of the mine, how much ore they're getting, the wages for the workers. and there's a heavy chest at the foot of the desk.
Ah, boys. We've got a big chest up here, mate. You.
Can you get in it?
Is it locked?
Oh yeah, it's locked.
I'll need a key.
One
Or rogue,
second.
you have
Uh,
thief seals. You don't need
No
the key.
need. No need. Go over, grab
Crowbar?
the set of keys off the. What is this guy's title?
He is Flynn
We don't even know
Larson.
his name. Lynn Larson.
Grab the key, take the keys off Flynn, and throw them up the stairs to Carrick.
He does not protest. He just wants to get out of this alive right now.
Did it. Right, I'm gonna open it then. Do I have to roll to see if I catch the keys? You know, just be
No.
super hardcore.
So, you're gonna open the
Miss
chest.
the keys, fall into a crack, can't reach
Roll
them
to
anymore.
one. Mouse. The mouse jumps out of the pocket, takes the keys, and he's away to Scarva. Bastard!
So you're
Right,
opening up
Andrew.
the
Strong
chest.
mouse.
What?
Okay, so you insert the key into the lock, click it open. And I guess it's a pretty heavy duty lock. It falls onto the ground. Flick the chest open. There are quite a few small sacks inside the chest that look like they would hold money or coins.
What is in them? Do I roll? I don't need to roll for this.
No, you don't
Just
need to roll
look.
anything for this. So,
What is it?
lifting them out and roughly weighing them out in your hands, this chest contains 270 copper, 30 silver, and 14 gold, from your rough estimation. This is,
I'll take it.
from your guess, this is most likely the chest for the workers' wages.
How much money does this man owe again?
He
250.
owes, 250 gold.
Oh, so we're nowhere near.
Nowhere near. Not with that chest.
Barrick, you want the good news or the bad news?
Give me the bad news.
This cunt has nowhere near the money that we need. 14 gold here, maximum.
I'll have a look downstairs and then we'll see what we can find.
Gonna
Yeah,
check
right.
out the downstairs of the
There's no-
building.
Yeah, do Jacob's
Do
turn there.
do some investigating.
Investigation. That
Oh,
was
Okay, so
terrible.
as you're trying to look around, you're not being very thorough with your investigation of the area. You're kind of just lifting the lids off crates, not really seeing
I'm
anything. and
probably
then
a
putting
wee
it
bit
back down.
rattled after what has just happened.
You're not really paying attention to what you're looking for. Carrick, though, he can see this, that you're not really looking
You're
very
retarded.
thoroughly through things.
Investigation check.
So you aid in the investigation.
I
So as Barrett goes along, he lifts up the lid to a crate. It's about to put it down. You stop him, take a look in yourself, kind of move some of the packing out of the way. And in this crate, in the first crate, you find some glass vials with a reddish colored liquid inside.
the hell is this?
In the next crate, you find some kind of light blue sky colored balls with a little kind of string attached to the top. And then in another box, you find 7 kind of crystal looking chunks, like 7 white, kind of crystalline looking chunks of rock.
Crystals.
Kel, what's all this?
You want them
Don't
to...
make me ask twice.
It's just supplies. We've got the potions in case someone in the mine gets hurt. Then there's the spark bombs sent by, we imported them from the capital to help us excavate the mine a lot quicker, though kind of caused that cave-in you saw us discussing when you arrived. Not very pleasant business. And then there's the quartz crystals that we find. I was gonna try and smuggle them out to keep them for myself, but I hadn't got round to it yet.
What are they worth?
Uh, I don't know, but I think they're probably worth quite a lot of money.
Is
Oh,
this everything you have? And don't make me ask twice. I'll know if you're lying.
Roll some insight.
intimidation!
No, not intimidation, insight.
Oh.
Okay,
Wait.
so as he begins to speak, you can see his eyes flicking around nervously. There's more of a stutter in his voice. He's like, that's everything. We keep everything in this warehouse. There's nothing else.
lying. Andrew, there wasn't anything else.
I draw my dagger.
Whoa.
Cal, I don't know if you misunderstood me when I said I don't like to ask things twice. Now, I know you're lying. Do not make me ask a third time, or you'll be joining your friends outside in the dirt.
Roll some intimidation. See if you can scare the shit out of him.
Crit.
Oh,
18. Damn.
so that was a tied roll off, which I'm just gonna say means you win, but barely.
That's because he's so traumatized.
Already, yeah. So you could see the fear fill his eyes again. Just absolutely horrified by, especially as you jumped over the box, kicked the guy, and just severed his head clean off. It's almost as if you can see this moment reflect in his eyes as he breaks down into tears, sobbing, "Just don't kill me! I keep the gold in my house. I didn't want the miners finding it in the warehouse.
Where's your house?
I've got a house down in the village. That's where I've been storing the gold."
Okay. Looks like we're going there next.
Right. Carrick. Upstairs.
So that's just about everything of value in this
There's
building.
nothing. There's nothing
Everything
else
else,
in the desk or anything, Andrew.
no,
Upstairs?
just like ink, like paper, writing quill, some like stamps, little seal stamps to show it's like official mine business.
Right. Leave the chest upstairs alone.
What about the gold?
No. I'll not out the workers from their pay. We've already caused enough damage here. Our business is with him, not the workers.
You don't have to abide by this, by the way, Mackay.
I know that.
So you're like talking one at the top of the stairs or one at the bottom of the stairs.
I also am guilty, however, of sort of killing 3 miners.
You've got to roleplay a character though, McCall.
Yes, do these miners need the money more than you?
Damn you, Andrew!
Yes, this is the thing.
Gotta know your character and know what he
See,
would do personally.
If you do things that your character would do, even if they're really negative for you,
Yes.
you might receive some slight bonuses and rewards you can use later.
Okay,
And then
right, well,
if you do the opposite and there's something that you really should do, but then you decide not to do it because it might be more beneficial, then you might get more negative things happen to you later.
how much
For
silver?
example,
How much silver and gold was there again?
270 copper, 80 silver, and then 14 gold.
Right, ignore the copper, take the silver and gold.
Okay, I will mark that down on my notepad and handle it later.
It's not stealing if I need it more than someone else.
Exactly.
Obviously, with my trait, and I see something valuable, I can't take my mind off it. So, I'll be lifting all these crystals into my bag.
I think you shall be confiscating those.
I will also take
Stab
the
yourself.
the spark bombs,
There are
and
7 spark bombs.
I will take 3 of them
Oh, can I have a couple?
if you want.
There's 4 more left if you want them.
I will take 2.
So you're going
I
to
go with
leave 2 of the
Leave
spark
one.
bombs?
Right, I'll just if Macaulay just wants 2, I'll take the rest.
Okay. So what
I'm also-
these are it's pretty much a little small
I'm
like
assuming
blue
it's just a
orb.
small round ball with a fuse.
It's
like
about
the
the
fuse.
size of a tennis ball. And there is a fuse, but the closer you look at it, it starts to glow a little. Now, you will need to make an Arcana check, both of you, to work out
Oh.
what it actually does.
They're magical.
Oh, only 11.
Where is Arcana?
Near the top of your skills.
Nope.
Okay, so both looking at them, you've seen the effect, but you don't really know what it actually is or how it works.
Okay. Well, take them anyway, and we'll
Well-
maybe practice with one later on.
Yeah. So you have 5, I have 2. Yeah. Is that how?
Yes.
I think
Oh,
so.
that's right. Yeah. I'm ready to
Um,
go.
I also, how many of the, let's call them health vials, are there on?
There are 4 healing potions.
I'll take 2 and give 2 to Kark.
You can pretty obviously tell that they're healing potions. You've both seen them before.
I would also advise Kark that you drink one of these.
Yeah, I was just about
now.
to say. How many are there in total?
Well, since
You'll
you're
have
just like
to-
standing around, you could use your hit dice to heal yourself without wasting the health potions.
I might do that then.
Yeah, go
I'll
ahead,
use.
dice. What do I have to roll, Andrew? A D8?
You can either roll a d8, a d10, or both, because you're level 2.
I'll roll a
What am
a
I
D10.
actually on at the minute?
and then a D8.
I shall check.
Roll both, Andrew.
Okay, so Jacob, you were on 6 at the end, and Macaulay was on 1. So,
So what do I need to roll?
A
well, you
D8.
can either do one or both, but you have a d8 and a d10.
Just roll
Which
both.
one's the D10's the second wind, isn't it?
No, this is for like your level 2. So the d8 is your rogue level, the d10 is your fighter level. It's just for like trying to heal yourself during the day.
So wait a minute, do I have both of those and I have the
Yeah.
second wind thing?
The second wind thing is a thing for in combat. These are just to heal yourself as you're
Oh,
resting.
this is
Alright,
passive.
fuck, I'll just use both of them.
9 and 4. So that is 13.
That's
Ah, that's a lot better than mine.
You are up to 19
19.
points of
Yeah.
health. And Carrick is on 10.
That'll do.
Okay.
Although whenever you like sleep for like 6 hours or like camp, then you'll get all your health back and you'll get those dice back to use again.
Nice, nice. Right. Kark, you ready to go?
Yep, let's move out.
Alright. What does Alcal have on him here before we leave?
You mean Mr. Flynn?
Oh yes, Flynn, sorry.
So you wanna like pat him down and inspect him?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll some intimidation before you do this. Just to see how willing he is to go along with it. Okay.
Ooh, 15.
So as you start patting him down, the fear is still in his eyes. He just holds his hands up, lets it happen, and you can pretty easily assess that he has the scabbard of his short sword, which is currently on the ground outside somewhere. He is wearing some pretty fancy, well-off clothes. He has a steel breastplate underneath his fancy shirt, kind of hidden from sight, but just a little bit extra protection. In his pocket, there is a single spark bomb, and he
Ooh.
has
Oh, I don't
5
think he'll be
gold,
needing that.
5 gold, 7 silver, and 6 copper in his coin pouch.
Okay, I will take all his money, take the spark bomb, and take the breastplate.
Now you're
Oh,
just
are
gonna
you gonna
put the
strip him down
breastplate
now?
into your backpack.
Yeah, just put the breastplate in my backpack.
I will need to get the weight for some of these items because you could end up becoming encumbered.
Could end up being a fat coon.
What is my total weight that I can carry?
I'm unsure, but you're probably getting kind of close to it because you can't really carry that much at the minute. Let's see.
The ball bearings weigh nothing. Makes no sense.
They weigh
999 of them.
They weigh 0.002 each. But it does add up to quite a considerable amount. So the breastplate is 20 pounds, so that would probably put you
Ooh.
over.
That's
Actually,
heavy.
it wouldn't put you over. Damn, you can hold more than I thought. So breastplate. Now, money actually does carry weight, so when I add money in, the money weighs you down, but we'll ignore money for now. But neither of you are encumbered. You are feeling like the weight on your backs and your backpacks is quite heavy, but
Did you put the spark thing in?
I'm not gonna put them in yet. They're pretty light. We'll just ignore them for now.
Okay, yeah. Right.
Roll out.
Time to walk. Lift him up from the corner. Time to show us your lovely home.
He kind of hangs his head in shame as you start dragging him out of the building. Just doesn't say anything at all. So you're gonna walk him down to the village at the end of the trail.
Yep, but I'm gonna explain some things very carefully to him. You're gonna walk us straight to your house. Anyone asks anything, we're new workers that have come to work on the mine. You don't run, you don't scream. And also, is there anyone at your house?
No, I live alone. You can
Good.
tell he is telling the truth. There is no one at his house that he knows of.
Get
Andrew,
walking.
Andrew, is there any pickaxes about? Surely there's bound to be.
There are indeed plenty of pickaxes in the box.
Can I just carry one for now? I will be chucking it later. Just adds authenticity to this live.
Yeah, you're just gonna hold it in your hands.
I'm just gonna hold it in my hand, carry it on my shoulder. You know,
Okay.
just make it look like I'm a worker.
Go, yeah, you can do that.
So I will be doing that.
Let's
Sure
take a
will.
walk.
So, is there anything else you want to do before you go down the path?
Probably just left the torch off somewhere so we can.
Yeah, you can
use it
just
to-
pick up a torch.
You
and
carry
make
the
your way
torch,
down.
I carry the pickaxe. And if he tries to run, we'll bury the pickaxe in his skull.
So, as you're walking down the path, he travels in complete silence. Is there anything you want to say to each other before you reach the bottom?
That went bad. Well, we might get out of
Yeah.
this a bit richer.
Yeah, could have gone either way, but I'm still breathing. That's a win.
A lot of those people didn't need to die.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Well, let's keep our heads at the job at hand. We haven't got out of this yet.
So,
Let's do it.
as you
1 second.
reach. Oh, he's gone.
All right. Continue.
Okay, so as you reach the bottom of the steps, there's very little light in the town itself. There's only a couple windows that have a dim light in them, like very, very low candlelight. It doesn't really seem like
Anyone's
Any
awake.
people or anybody really is awake right now.
Good.
So how do you proceed?
Which way, old man? Is he old?
He's older than you, yeah.
Okay, which way, old man?
He just keeps his head down and starts walking to the other side of town, not the side you came from initially, but to the other side of the path. It takes maybe only like a couple minutes following the path through the houses to get to his house. You can tell it's a house of status compared to the other
Oh,
ones around. All the other houses are like a single story, like little small hovels. Whereas this house, it's got a second floor. It looks like it would only be a single room, but it is a lot bigger than the other houses
you
in the
rich
area.
cunt.
He does own the mine, which means all the
True.
profits go to him. So he walks up, he's like, well, this is my house, just don't break everything. Like, if you want something, like, I'll just give it to you. I just leave my house intact. Walks
Alright,
up,
let's get inside and come on.
unlocks the door.
Take us to the gold. No funny business.
He just sighs, walks down the hallway in his house and opens one of the doors with his key. As you step in, it looks a lot like an office where there's a desk with some papers, some writing utensils, some
I've
What?
just realized something. I've just realized something.
What?
I've only got one dagger left. The other one's in the mine.
I will say for now that you picked it up because there were a lot of
Okay.
people that would have had daggers on them.
Okay.
But so there's like cabinets that look like they're full of scrolls, different knick-knacky things that you'd find in an office. And there is a big, like this is a really heavy set chest in the office. As he steps in, it's like, well, this is it. This is where I keep the gold.
Cark, keys.
Okay, I will go over and open the on chest.
So as you put the key in and turn the lock, make a dexterity save.
Oh god, there's a trap, isn't there? I knew it.
From what you can now tell, the chest may be trapped.
Well,
So
actually,
what?
when I said Cark keys, I meant just to throw him the keys, but I mean, but it's
He
happened now.
misunderstood. Just like you're just like, oh shit. He opens it. The chest pops open, and as it pops open, like as this is happening in slow motion, you can see a small crossbow like hidden in like the kind of
Oh, for the
like
love
cylindrical
of
bit at the
God.
top. Can't drop down and fire a bolt straight out towards you. You react too late to try and dive out of the way, but the bolt wasn't really aimed exactly, so it just kind of grazes off your already injured shoulders, kind of hits your leather, slides off, dealing you
Oh,
1 point of
like a bit.
damage.
Okay.
So you're down to 9 points of health.
Great.
Didn't care to mention about that.
He's got a
Close
slight
encounter.
grin on his face at this point. Never asked. So-
Down in that fucking chair over there.
He still has a slight smirk on his face as he sits down into his chair. You can see there
What
are
is it?
some bulging sacks that are clearly full of gold.
Keep an eye on him, Cark. I'll check
Alrighty.
the sacks.
So,
I will.
do you want to just roughly, like, kind of gauge in your hand how much there is, or count them exactly?
We'll just go for a gauge first.
You would say that there's anywhere between 175 and 225 gold in the sacks.
Hot diggity dog. While he's doing this,
Is it just in gold?
Solely
Yeah.
gold.
we'll draw my dagger and just play with it. I'm not gonna kill him. Just play with it.
It's kind of okay.
Intimidatedly. Yeah, I mean, just looking at him, playing. Also,
Oh.
can I do like? Oh, do I have to roll intimidation?
Do a sleight of hand. See how dexterously you.
Drops it. Oh.
Okay, so you're pretty good. He is slightly intimidated by this show of skill with the knife.
Yeah.
So, what are you doing next? By your rough
gonna-
estimate, not all the gold is there.
Did get the crystals though. In this
Carrick.
house. In this house.
I sigh and I start to count out the gold exactly. Carrick, take him for a walk and find out what else he's hiding in here.
We'll do that. Come
So,
on, chum.
while
let's
you
go.
took him out for a walk, and like eventually all the gold
When I
is
say
counted.
out for a walk, I mean just
Not
through the
outside,
house.
just around the house.
Yeah, it's like into the hall.
Yeah.
So, counting out the gold, there is 207 gold pieces in the bags.
Okay. I'm gonna say that's gonna take me quite a while. So
It will. So, what is Carrick doing as you shove him out through the door into the hallway?
Can I do a perception check to see if there's? Well, he obviously lives in a nice house.
Yes,
Is
there's
there
a
anything
couple
down-
rooms on the bottom floor.
Is there anything that stands out as valuable at the minute? Lots of things. Some things.
There's just some like just standard run-of-the-mill furniture in the hallway. Nothing particularly
Okay.
fancy.
Can't carry furniture. What else are you hiding, old man?
What do you mean? What else am I hiding? This is just my house where I live, or where my family have lived for generations now.
You better not be lying to me. We will continue to walk about the house. Out from the hall.
So, is there any like room in particular you want to look for in the house?
Bedroom.
So you go upstairs, and like as you're pushing him along in front of you up the stairs, the stairs lead into like a single upstairs room. There is a quite nice canopy bed, like a dresser full of clothes, another desk, which looks more like a kind of a sketching area for drawing, and another
Okay.
chest on the ground.
Oh dearie me, what is this? I still have the keys.
You do. As you're saying that, he's just like,
That-
this, it's my shoe chest.
Oh god damn it.
That's where I store my shoes. It's in my bedroom.
Why do you keep your shoe? What do you mean, like a lock chest for shoes?
No, this one isn't even a locked chest. It's just like a chest that opens for storage.
Oh frick! I thought you meant like an actual.
No,
Chest.
it looks like an actual chest, but there's currently, like, do you want to open it?
Oh, open it. Yeah, why not?
There are no traps in this one. As you kind of,
like
as-
opened
as you kind of like flinch back, almost expecting to get shot, there is no crossbow bullet coming at you this time.
Yeah.
Though you see just a couple different pairs of shoes, some slippers. It seems this is just a chest for shoes.
Okay. What other rooms in the house are like do people put valuables in? All in
Well,
their bedroom.
the only other rooms there would really be like the kitchen and dining area, and like kind of like the living area room,
Actually,
and
we're
then
down to all of them.
his house storage room.
Down to it all
Andre,
then.
can I go in? Can I say that I've counted
Oh
the
yeah,
gold?
you'd have counted it.
Right, can I go into the kitchen?
Yes. What are you looking for in the
What
kitchen?
is there like a fireplace?
Yeah, that's where like the chimney is for cooking.
Is there anything hidden? Can I look for anything hidden, like
Roll
in the
some
chimney?
investigation. See if you can find anything.
Damn it.
So as you check around the room, you're still pretty shaken with the lives that you have took so far this day, and your mind just isn't on the task. You can barely even find the knives and the forks in the kitchen. You're not paying attention at all.
Gosh.
Oh dear.
Can I see, like, is there any, like, water about?
There is like a couple small like glass containers of water sitting on the shelves.
Can I just use them to refill my water skin?
You
At the very
can
least.
indeed.
And maybe lift some. Well, actually, I don't need any rations.
Is there anything else you would like to do in the kitchen?
I'm just gonna sort of chill here and wait for Car to.
Okay. So while you have
Well,
just looked at his shoe chest upstairs, what do you want to do next?
let's move on to. Is there any other rooms upstairs?
Not upstairs. There's just the single
We
room.
will go back downstairs and we'll go to the lawn kitchen. So we'll go to the lawn kitchen.
So as you push him in through the kitchen, you then see that Beric is already down here.
Ah, Beric.
I'm just
Find
gonna
anything
nibble.
nice?
I'm gonna just. Don't know. It's a kitchen. Just gonna nibble on some food or something, or eat an apple while I'm.
Okay. He looks very
Can I-
indignified as he walks in that you've
Can I
stolen his
do an
food.
investigation roll to see if I see anything?
You can indeed. Go ahead.
Ah.
It is a very nice kitchen to you. You don't really
Very
spot
nice
anything
kitchen.
different either.
Right, well then we'll. One of the rooms he's got the living room and like
Like a storage room.
we'll go to the storage room next.
So you just keep pushing him through the house. He's getting very irritated by being shoved about the place. Is the storage room? It's just a smaller room, smallest one you've been in so far, with loads of crates, sacks, barrels, just loads of different kinds of storage means inside.
So old man, what are you keeping here?
He gives you a look like, are you fucking stupid? Then just like it's a storage room. I've got my sacks of grain, like my barrels of beer and water, my crates with food in them. Like, what else do you keep in a storage room?
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of done with that part.
Could get angry with him, Macaulay, for his remark.
Oh,
Well, I do have bad
you can see
manners.
he's getting very, very irritated.
I do have bad manners, so I'm just wondering here, do I give him a good slap or?
That's up to
Oh,
you.
that's. Oh, shit.
No one else can tell you what you would do here.
See, I'm already being rude by shouting him about the house. I'm just dawdling, just like dee.
Just stop asking what you would do and just do what
Just-
you do.
Just wing it. Just go for it.
Living room.
Okay, you're pushing him on into the living room. This is the
And
fanciest
sit-
and biggest room you've seen so far.
Sit him down in this nice wee armchair. You put both.
His
my,
wee
my hands
armchair
over his
is
shoulders.
very nice. He's got a nice
just-
fireplace that kind of corresponds to where the one in the kitchen is, so they would both funnel up into the same chimney. There is a painting above the fireplace that has a striking resemblance to him, and there's just more nice furniture, some vases with flowers, other pictures, nice rug on the floor. It's a pretty nice room.
Just sit him down in his armchair. I
Okay.
will also sit down.
He does
facing him.
not have a second armchair in this room.
God, does he not have a second chair at all?
He lives alone, Mackay.
I thought you said he had some nice furniture. All right, now we'll toss.
Yeah,
over
he
the-
has
we'll
nice
toss over the
furniture,
details.
like little tables and drawers. So just like leaning up against something.
Take
What
his spoons.
Can I do an investigation check in this room?
You can try. Go ahead. Okay, so what are you looking for?
Anything that would look valuable.
The most valuable looking thing in this room is the painting above the fireplace.
Okay. No
Every-
hidden doors?
No hidden
Mine-
doors. It's just a
Okay.
plain simple house.
It's a heist.
Lad, you don't know shit about it. You never know. You see, I'd
You
love
just
it.
gotta go
I'd
into
love-
every room, hidden door,
I've
hidden door,
been,
hidden door.
been in every room. And
Investigation fucking thing in every fucking room.
no, listen to this. This is the last room of the house anyway.
It is the last room in the house.
So the old man sitting there, in the chair. And what's his name? What's his name?
He is Flynn Larson.
Yeah, I just
Soon
say,
you'll
you know, Flynn.
soon you'll have to remember the names of people yourself. That'll be
I
fun.
just called him old boy because I didn't remember. Easy.
Uh,
I just go, you know, Flynn, this would have been a lot easier, you know, if you paid your debts.
so he's like,
I-
oh,
I
so that's where you're from.
I overhear this
see.
from the kitchen, and I'm like, fuck.
He's like, I see what's going on here.
Ah, well, fuck it.
You're with those cutthroats then, aren't you?
So what if we are so what if,
Cutthroats. Those cutthroats, as you call them, lent you this money. And
They
you
didn't lend me
you-
shit. I was meant to be paying them for their services to keep my mind safe, but what did they do? Didn't do fucking shit. So I took the money and I hired my own guards, who you've now fucking went and killed. So kiss goodbye to the rest of your money, because it's not all in that chest.
he's telling the truth, isn't he?
Make an insight check to determine what you
Oh, no.
believe, if he's telling the
It's
truth or
okay.
not.
Oh, crit!
You can tell that,
What a waste of a crit.
yeah,
no.
literally what a waste of a crit. Like, he's telling his side of the truth. So there might have been more events that did transpire between him and your organization. But from his point of view, what he's saying is the truth and nothing but the truth.
That's fine.
So the remaining 43 gold that's missing was paid out to the men that you have now killed, and they have done with it, you've no clue. But they did not have it on them.
So what he's saying, it's not that he's hiding more money, it's just
He spent
He's
it on
he's
a-
like used it. So instead of paying the debt to the guild, which must have been very expensive if it only took 43 gold to hire the amount of men you went and killed.
yeah. I sort of pace back, thinking to myself what to do next.
Gonna do a wee roll for him to see if he's really dumb enough to say this. He is dumb enough to say this. He looks over to
Okay.
Carrick and he's like, I know your fucking face. They'll find you. You're gonna fucking swing for this. Mark my words. I will laugh as I watch the rope go tight and your eyes roll into the back of your head.
I
He's getting
I
very
just-
aggressive. Very
I
aggressive.
just stare at him. I just point blank stare at him. We have just killed. I don't know how many. 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 miners of yours. You shit your pants in front of us.
He
we've
pissed
held you
himself.
bait- You pissed yourself. Blah blah blah. We've held you at knife point now for probably an hour, and we could kill you at any moment, and that's what you come out with.
You can see a look of he's second judging his words, and then he just spits at you.
You know, I really didn't want to have to use this knife again tonight, but I could make an bleh. Fuck, can't even speak.
Words.
An exception for you.
Roll intimidation.
Bitch.
He looks up at you, stands up out of the chair, glares you into the eyes, and just says to you, "Go ahead. I'm sure your boss will love their new customer going missing and dying."
Fair play. That's exactly what I thought he was gonna say.
He rolled well, counter
He
your
did not.
intimidation.
That's fine. I'm not gonna kill him. Like, he's a good. He's a customer. So then.
And he's gonna kind of have to pay up from now on.
Just make sure you keep paying your debts, old man. This will not have to happen again.
Just grunts.
Yeah, go sit back down in your chair.
He happily sits back down in his chair in defiance.
Eric, you done here? I'd very much like to leave before dawn.
What do we do with him?
I don't know. I'm in two minds. Again, one side we could kill him. One side we could throw him in his own fire. The other side we just let him live.
Oh,
I don't know. What do you think? I mean, he's a customer to the guild. I'm not sure killing clients is good. Pretty sure. However, he's a
He
prick.
knows
He knows too much, yes.
a lot.
he's just sitting in silence, looking
I
back and
don't
forth
know.
between you.
I'm not an assassin, I'm not an evil cunt. I'm just rude.
And you'll steal from anyone that you think needs it less than you
Which I have done. We have literally
have
taken
done.
this. We have taken everything this man owns. And I'm satisfied with what I have done
Apart
so
from
far.
the 270 copper.
Potato, miners need their wages. I have
Doubt
a,
the miners will get that too. 270 copper.
fuck them anyway. They'll probably break in and steal it themselves.
Maybe. I'm in two minds. I'm in two
I'm in two
minds what
minds.
to do here. I'm like,
Kill a man in cold blood,
in
or
one
let him live.
hand, he's seen our faces, and
He's
our
only
names.
seen Carrick's face, but he knows
Oh, yeah.
both your names.
He knows both of our names. He knows that we're a part of the guild. But on the other hand, he is a client to the guild. But
A rebellious client.
rebellious.
How do you go back to the guild and say he died in an explosion? Rocks came down and just. Oh wait, can we just give him a holy hand grenade and let him sort that out himself? Yeet.
Just be like, throw a spark bomb on the fire and leave.
One last thing, cunt. Here you go. Bye.
And then it blows up before we even get out the door.
Friggin' run. I don't know.
Rumbles the whole friggin' town. The whole town wakes up and then lynches our asses.
He's starting to smile in amusement as this
Wait, what?
conversation goes on.
Carrick, I'll be outside. Do what you think.
He gives me responsibility. Okay. Oh god, I've just looked at one of my traits.
Which
Oh.
one? I see.
The rich need to be shown what life and death are like in the gutters. Oh no. Does that mean I'm gonna have to burn his house down?
That's up to you. You can interpret it whatever way you want.
Of course it means I'm gonna have to burn his house down, but how do I burn a house down that's so big?
It's made of
Nice.
wood.
Made of fucking wood.
Before you leave, do you still have that torch, or is it outside?
Probably threw it down outside before.
Oh,
we
I
came
threw my
inside.
pickaxe away ages ago.
still have your flask of oil and the spark bombs.
God damn you! I'm gonna have to do it. I'm looking at this trait.
It's up to you.
I do it. Burn his house down. I have no choice. I'm role
So,
playing.
no, how do you do it is the thing. Go through your actions of what you're doing.
Is the fire? Has he? He's got a fire.
Yeah, there is a
still
fire
going.
currently going. It's
It's still
pretty
going.
pretty low down. Like he'd lit it, left the house to go to the mine, and it's almost burned out by the time he's come back.
Smash the oil and where's the fire?
It's in the wall between the kitchen
Is it
and
in the kitchen
the
or
living
living
room.
room?
It's in both, but it's the living room one that's lit.
Oh god. Oh god, my Discord has gone to 1 bar. What did you say, Andrew?
Uh, it's only the living room fire
One in
that's
the
lit.
living room that's lit.
One in the living room. Okay. Smash the oil like right beside the fire. Fuck it.
So you're pulling out a flask of oil and going to smash it on the ground next to the fire.
Yes. And hopefully, well, if it doesn't catch, I'll light a goddamn spark myself. We're gonna have to get the hell out of Dodge.
You're gonna need to roll some strength as he sees you going for his bag and your bag in the room alone. He goes to tackle you.
Oh, is it a strength save or
Strength, just roll a strength roll. He's trying to overpower you to stop you getting whatever you're getting out of your bag. Clearly, having a good idea of what you're gonna do from what he's overheard so far, but he wasn't really ready. He just sees it's like, oh fuck, goes to grab at you, but you just shove him off as you pull the vial of oil out of the bag, and in a smooth motion, smash it onto the ground next to the fire. Are you
Dodge
trying to?
hit
Are you
that?
trying? Okay, so you're trying to aim it in a way that will light.
Yeah, well,
Do an
I'd like
attack
it to
roll. Just a dexterity attack roll.
a dexterity.
Just hit your dexterity button. See how good your aim is.
Oh,
That
wait, is
is
that a
a
save?
1.
That is a 1. Terrible.
Yes.
Absolute
Set
disaster.
up on fire.
So, as like because he's like kind of grabbed onto your arm, you as you go to like throw it while shaking him off, it slips from your hand and shatters onto the ground around your feet. But you're not close enough for to the fire for it to catch light. Though your legs and feet are now covered in oil. As you've like
shit.
shoved him off and he hits against the wall next to the fire. He's like, you fucking bastard! Gonna burn my fucking house down after taking everything from me. And gonna roll initiative, Mackay.
I have to roll initiative. Okay.
Am I gonna? Will I roll?
You need to roll some
Perception.
perception. See if you hear the ruckus going on.
Nope.
You have no idea what's happening yet.
Where's initiative? Oh, here.
In the middle.
I'm blind. Intimidation, insight.
At the very top, in the middle.
Oh, I see it.
You're going first.
One
So,
hand.
what do you want to do?
On one hand, I light the fire. On the other hand, I light my feet on fire and burn alive. Decisions, 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 decisions.
Decisions that you're talking to yourself. Well, this
Jacob, roll some initiative anyway, just to see when you do get involved, like where you're gonna slot in. Okay, so whenever you get involved, that'll be after Macaulay. So pretty much every turn after that, you're gonna have to roll perception to see if you hear the ruckus going on inside the house as you're admiring the calm night outside.
Yes. Pretty stars.
So what is Carrick doing? If you think too much, your turn most likely
Okay.
will get skipped as you panic.
Is there? Oh, can't kick it. Is there any sticks in the fire that you could
There's
lift?
there's like low embers. It's mostly burned to ash. This fire has been going for a while unattended.
No metagaming, but I just love the way Macaulay's still thinking about putting the house on fire with his feet literally covered in oil.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Not allowed to metagame, Macaulay.
I know I'm not allowed to
Also,
metagame.
hurry up and make a damn decision. You're taking too long.
Or he's gonna go before you.
No, I want to leave it because I don't trust myself to roll and freaking not burn my legs
I'm
off.
like rolling. What are you doing? Are you
Yeah.
I'm
attacking him
leaving.
or are you running?
I'm leaving.
You're gonna try and leave.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So as you turn around to try and leave, he takes the opportunity to attempt to jump onto your back and grapple you to the ground. Need to roll another strength check to try and wrestle against him.
Oh dear.
He barely beats you with a 6. So as you turn around to try and get out of the house, he just attempts to leap onto your back, doesn't really do a good jump, and kind of grabs onto your waist and takes your legs out from under you. So now you're lying on your back and he's underneath your legs.
Lying on my
But
back.
that is your turn. Your turn is now over.
Fuck, I'm
Eric.
so shit at this.
Eric.
I just don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Like,
Barrick will need to roll
you know what
some
it is?
perception
Alcohol. We've already had 2 tens.
to see if you hear this. Okay, you hear the ruckus. You could like in the haste of the action, you could maybe get the door open and step inside, but you won't be able to get to the brawling two on the floor just yet.
Yeah, that's okay.
So Flynn then kind of shoves his way from under your legs up onto a knee and tries to deck you in the face as hard as he can.
He's gonna punch me.
He misses. So he tries to swing for your face, but he's only just got up and he's a bit wobbly, so he kind of just whiffs straight past your face and doesn't hit you. It is now back to your turn on the
Are
ground.
we both on our feet or am I still on the
You're
ground?
on your back and he is like on one knee trying to punch you.
Can I kick him in the direction of the fire?
You can kick him, yes.
I would like to kick him because he's a cunt.
Make your strength attack.
What is that? A strength save?
Just
or...
roll just click the strength word above the -1. Okay,
Another
so
one.
that is a 1. -1.
Fuck,
For
D&D and a transfer.
for a 0.
Wow.
So you go to try and swing your leg up to kick him, but where he's standing, he just reaches his hand round and grabs your leg, pinning it to the ground. And in the same swift motion, grabs the dagger from your belt. It is now Barrick's turn, and you've heard this
Brilliant.
scuffling. And as you walk in and look
This cunt's
through
gonna
the
have to
door,
die now.
you see
This cunt is gonna
Flynn
have to die.
standing above Carrick, pulling the knife out of its sheath, getting ready to try and stab him in the throat. What do you want to do?
Can I reach him?
Oh yeah, you could get to him if you want, and still make
Uh,
like an attack or an action.
Right, I shall go to. I'll go for a. Just gonna try to like kick him off
Okay,
Carrick first. So
You'll-
is that a
you'll need to make a strength
dexterity? Oh, strength.
for the strength of your kick.
Damn it.
Okay, that is a hit. So you've kicked him, and does he overbalance? You've kicked him. Oh yeah. Roll. You'll need to type it out probably, or actually just roll any dice that's got an even number. Odds are 1, evens are 2, and then. Okay, so because your strength is -1, you then do 1 point of damage to him, because you're not very good at kicking. And he does manage to stay over the top of Carrick, putting down one of his hands to keep himself from completely falling over. It is now his turn though. He's like, "You fucking bastards won't take my you won't take everything from me," and goes for a stab towards Carrick on the ground. He does indeed get a hit, since you're pinned to the ground.
Fuck,
He-
I'm not on the right mind frame for this tonight.
The knife pierces into your already injured right shoulder, dealing you 6 points of damage.
For fuck's sake.
your vision starts to
Every
blur
decision
slightly.
I'm making is wrong.
It's because you've got very bad luck.
Was Macaulay not on 6 health?
He was on
No,
9.
8 or
Oh.
9.
So like if you had rolled even like a 10 plus when you tried to throw the vial into the fire would have exploded in the fire. But you rolled a 1. And then you've just rolled bad this entire. You've already
It's
got
not
2
that bad.
ones.
It's not that I'm
It's
just
Oh my
not
God.
happy with what I'm doing at all or what I'm
Carrick's
saying.
turn.
It is Carrick's turn now, yes. Now this dagger is still wedged into your shoulder. And you can see a fury in his eyes. Like he is determined to either kill you both or go down dragon. He is done
Well,
with life.
the dumb bitch is gonna have to die now. Either die in his house or die with a sword up his arse. I don't know. But fuck him. I can't get to my feet, Ander. No.
You'll need to roll a strength check just to see if you can break free of him holding you, and then if you can get to your feet.
For
Uh,
fuck's sake.
You
Can I get a
you
roll
do
above 10?
indeed beat him. He rolled a 4. So
Right.
his strike into your shoulder has unbalanced him, and with your free hands, you manage to use the momentum of his strike to just flip him over your head into his chair, and then you can get to your feet and make your action. So if you want to
Is he in his
attack,
chair?
he's kind of just like fell against it, so he's on his like knees, barely holding himself off the ground. So you
Fucking
can.
stab the cunt.
So you pull a knife or a sword.
Short sword.
So you pull your short sword and you take a swing.
It's unarmed.
Roll.
I'm not a murderer.
I was gonna say roll with advantage, but roll another one just in case you get a crit. Okay, so
I'm not a murderer.
he
Yeah,
mightn't be dead yet.
Not a thief anymore.
Roll your damage. Okay, so
Oh my god.
your sword, he's kind of like hunched down on the ground as he's trying to get up. Your sword slashes across his back, leaving a gaping wound through his clothes. He just calls out in pain, but he's still conscious as he is still struggling to get up. It is now Beric's turn. As you see this blade just swipe to the air and slash the old man across the back.
So where am I? Am I like in the doorway or something?
You're like
sort of
you're like a step through the door, and then to your right would like Carrick is that you're like a couple feet to your right, and then a couple feet on the other side of him is Flynn crouched over on the ground. So you can get to him if you want. You could leave if you want. You can do whatever you want, pretty much.
Can I walk behind Flynn?
Yeah, you can easily like traverse the room.
Walk behind Flynn, draw my sword, and just do a downwards motion with my sword
Into his
down
back.
behind- Yeah, into his back.
Roll your attack. That is a hit. And now you're extra 6 for an ally being in range.
Mm,
Okay. So as you step up behind him as he tries to get up, and you
Holy
plunge
shit,
the
he's
sword
dead.
down into his back, you can hear the sickening crack as it goes straight through his spine, and then a thunk as the tip
oh, no, I
goes.
meant like, you know the way like where like soldiers like finish people, where it's like just sort of like it's at your back, but it's like in one of your shoulders, and you just sort of slide it down, like into like I'm assuming where your like lungs and chest would be.
Oh, is there like pierce through his lungs?
Yeah, it's like like it go, you know, like the back bit where you're like just the back bit of your shoulder, you know, where you can like
Yeah.
sort of press in,
Oh,
like
like you want to
down.
kind of
like you know, like a soldier's death.
like the sword's coming from upwards down into the shoulder
Yeah.
and then into the body. So you'd like
Yeah.
kind of pull him back and then stab it in from the shoulder.
Yeah.
Ah, that's even more brutal. So, as you just grab him by the back of the head, pull him up, and then stab the sword straight into his shoulder, you can feel the blade slide through the internal organs as the life just starts to pour from the wound. And there's a final gasp as his head just falls limp in your hands. You can tell there's no recovering from this injury. He is outright dead.
You couldn't deal with one old man. And why is there oil everywhere?
Whatever. Let's just get the fuck out of here.
So you leave the building.
I'm gonna just take a run upstairs quickly to the bedroom.
Okay.
Is there a cabinet where there's clothes?
There is, yes.
Open it and have a look and see what there is.
There's just some kind of finer clothes, not the run-of-the-mill stuff that commoners would wear, but more expensive clothing, like shirts, trousers.
I'll grab a couple of the shirts and stuff them in my bag.
Okay, so you managed to get 3 fine shirts that you stuff into the backpack.
And then we'll leave.
So you there's just blood pooling across the floor of the living room as you both exit the house. Your feet are all like your footprints are leaving behind bloody marks on the wooden floor as you step your way out, but leaves no trace after you exit the doorway on the dirt. Outside the house, so what do you want to do?
On our travels, Andrew.
Can I get this dagger out of my damn shoulder?
Yeah, you can just pull it out whenever. Don't need to
Medicine
roll
check?
for it or anything. You can just take it out, patch yourself up.
Yeah, the hole's already there.
Yeah, you just need to re-patch up your wound, but we'll just say it goes fine for now.
On the walk
Yeah.
over to his house, Andrew, did we notice a stables?
And there is a stables, but it's only fit for 2 horses, which are the ones you would have saw pulling the cart back to Medford.
Okay, let's just try to get out of town. Probably leave town to the right and then circle round the outside of the town.
Okay. Do you want to take it slow and stealthily, or just rush out?
Nah, just fucking leg it.
Well, as you rush your way out of essentially the crime scene, there's no alert that anyone has noticed or even woke up. Any of the houses that did have dim light in the windows, the lights have all went out. And you successfully make your way to the edge of town, and you're now a good distance away, out of earshot. And how do you want to progress? You've escaped with 207 gold from the chest, and then the rest of your findings.
Travel. What time of night is it? Is it just say like 1, 2 o'clock?
Yeah, it's about 1 or 2.
Travel for. Travel on the path for 30 minutes and then set up don't even like set up a camp, we'll just rest.
Just rough it.
We'll just rough it in the side. And just like
Are you
I'm
gonna
gonna
follow the
ex-
road?
Yes.
Okay. So, it doesn't take you long following the road. You find a nice little sheltered clearing where you could spend the night if you want. And
Yeah.
both finish eating your meals. That's like, I've already took that out for like the the 1 day of travel, but are you going to like spend the night? Is the main question. You're both very sore from.
Spend the night.
Okay.
No fire though.
No fire sounds good. Is there anything you want to say or communicate before you rest?
I don't want to say anything. I just want to eat half my rations and then go to sleep.
Yeah.
And for Carrick?
No, nothing.
Okay, so are you going to take watch during the night?
I don't care at this point. I just go to sleep.
Okay, so you're essentially sleeping the whole night unless Carrick takes a watch and then wakes you. So are you also gonna sleep the whole night, or are
Don't
you
even
gonna
know.
stay up?
I'm fucking stabbed and been shot with a crossbow, so I'd like to go to sleep, so fuck it. Sleep.
Okay, so you both find the most concealed spots you can in the undergrowth just off the path, and quickly just pass out. And
Get eaten by wolves in the night.
just roll 2 perceptions to see. Well, just roll 2 constitutions to see who wakes up first.
Constitution?
Yeah, it's the third one down on the stats. Okay, so the first one to wake.
That was a Constitution save, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're the same thing. It's close enough. But as Beric begins to wake to the sound of the birds, your ears are met with a shrill scream echoing off the mountain and bouncing into the woods. Someone has clearly awoken and either found the body of Flynn in his house or found the bodies up at the mine.
Probably the mine, saying that there's a building on
Poggers.
fire and there's probably some smoke coming from it.
How do you proceed?
Wet
Time to
Carrick
go.
immediately.
You're roughly shaken awake.
Do we get to re-roll for health?
Your
Yes.
health's just put the max out of you've rested the whole night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And whenever you rest later in the day, you will be able to use those dice again.
Okay.
We have to move. Don't even bother eating rations. Just start moving
ass.
at
As fast a pace as you can go.
a fast pace on the road.
Well, you can just travel pretty much the whole day, no interruptions, and then you just want to sleep when you need to, then travel, sleep, then travel.
Yeah, basically just fast travel back to Medford and just eat and sleep. So, and drink
So,
water after.
During the travel, when you're 1 day's travel away during the night, you do see the same injured fox that
Oh, god damn it.
you had saw the first night. You see it sculling through
He lived.
the bushes and the trees, the significant scar on its side where it got stabbed by the wooden spike. But it is
Hell, he
alive.
healed up fast.
Well, he's
Oh, fuck.
alive. He clearly does seem injured. But nothing of note really happens during the time that you're traveling until you're on the last day of travel. You'll be able to get to the town by just before nightfall. Yeah.
Can we, when we're getting closer to the town, can we make sort of can we go to the south more and sort of walk in towards the town as we were approaching from Berwick?
You can.
Yeah.
How close to the town do you want to get before you go off the road?
Maybe a mile.
Okay, so as you're traveling along the road, still about half a day away from Medford, Like you've pretty much just woke up early morning, starting out on the road, about halfway there, which is probably like about 10 miles, maybe a bit more than 10 miles, more like 15, closer to 20. You do see a cart on the road coming your direction with, it looks like two or three figures on the cart and about, roll a perception check, both of you.
God, I know what this is.
Is it 10?
Okay, so what is, oh damn, double 19s. So you can both see the glint of steel on the two sides of the cart, and there's four additional people with the cart who are looking a lot more formal and well armed than the people who are sitting on the cart.
I just sort of like grab the set in my head. Fuck!
They have not seen you yet. They're still quite a distance off.
Wait, hang on.
Do you know what that is,
what's
Garrick?
what is on this card? I'm sorry.
There's three people on the cart, and
Where
there's
on
two people walking on the left and two people walking on the right.
Oh, it's the goddamn tin shipment, isn't it?
No, no, it's not. It's worse than that. That's the goddamn people coming back from the tin shipment, and the fucking people that the guild master was supposed to be getting. Oh, we are in shit. We are in deep shit. Quick, get off the road. We can't be seen.
Roll
Dive for the bushes!
Okay.
roll some stealth. Oh, nice. Very nice. This will be a very hard perception check for anyone to see you.
Wait, what do you mean the guild master was supposed to get? I'm confused.
So as you're like having this conversation, just talk away, but they're slowly getting closer.
All right, final shot.
So you've been shushed, and as they slowly roll up closer, we have these three guys' perceptions. Oh, that was close. There was a 19 in there. If they had a bonus, they might have spotted you. And oh, so it seems as though nobody has seen you. There was an 18, there was a 19. They're very, very vigilant as they're traveling along the road.
Well,
But
that's
you
why they
have
probably
not-
cost so much.
But you have not been spotted just yet as you're hiding in the bushes looking out onto the path. You can see that the three men on the cart with some rough and ragged leather and crossbows are the men that you'd saw on your second night coming to Medford. They're the same men on the same cart, the same horses. Though the other four men that you can see, they aren't just mere like brigands or hired blades. They're armed in like chain shirts, like chainmail, with steel spears, shields, like different forms of helmets, like a kettle helmet here, a flat-topped helmet there. They're like properly armed men. And you haven't really seen them much the time you've been in the town, but you can gather they're most likely the troops of the local lord who has recently moved in to try and bring law and order to this frontier town.
Oh, thank God.
They have a sigil that is a golden horn, like a kind of
Yeah.
like a war horn, not a drinking horn. A golden
Yeah.
horn on a green background
Okay.
on their tabards. So this cart is slowly traveling past. How do you want to proceed?
Just let them pass.
Just let them pass. Jeez, we don't
And
wanna-
then when they're maybe
I'm hardly gonna shout hi bye.
up the road out of sight, then we shall emerge from the bushes.
Where are we right now? Are we?
You're
Near
about
Medford?
20 miles or so from Medford. So,
Okay.
at the pace you've been traveling, you would be able to get there closer to the very end of the day, almost nighttime.
Okay.
So they have passed, you haven't been spotted, and they're away up the road behind you. You can no longer see them in the twists, turns, and bumps of the path.
Okay.
We can proceed.
Phew. Well, thankfully, I didn't recognize any of those men from the guild. Looks like they're that new noble prick's troops. Looks like he's trying to spread his influence a bit more than Medford itself now. Unfortunate for him, he will have a bit more trouble when his troops arrive there. But it just means
Yeah.
it'll be one less person to cut in on the deal, I suppose. Gonna need a strong drink when we get back. Come
You're
on,
up
let's
to
get
one.
moving.
So
Right,
you,
Andrew,
you
how are us?
continue your travel at as quick a pace as you can muster. It's still battered and bruised from the conflict a few days past. But as you begin to get closer to the end of the pathway through the trees, you can start to see Medford against the frigid North Sea. And you want to keep going until about a mile or so and then break off from the path and head southward.
Yeah.
Okay, so going through the trees, you'll need to make some survival checks. Oh, that reminds me, McCall, you're gonna need to pick your favorite terrain and favorite enemies. But we'll handle
Oh,
that when you get
jeez.
the time.
Okay.
But you'll need to make some survival rolls to see how well you navigate safely through the forest.
Will this be the time where I'll roll really well when
You'll roll
I
a crit here.
don't need it?
And an 11.
To 11.
So
Andrew, that's better than anything I rolled in
you
my house,
are,
so
that is pretty true. But
You
are
rolled you rolled like a 22 for stealth.
so you
that's what I
are
said.
slowed down considerably by pushing through the forest. It is still quite dense in this area, but you don't run into any major obstacles as you break through the trees to the south of Medford. You are a bit further away than you wanted to be. You're about closer to 2 miles away than 1 mile away, but
Potato, potato.
you are
Is it
still.
nighttime?
It's the sun is starting to get low in the sky. It's almost dark. It did take longer than expected to get through the trees.
We should make a camp here for the night. Took us longer getting through the woods as I would have liked. Also,
Alright.
I could do with the rest.
Rest is good.
I'll set up a fire.
Oh yes, and the fire isn't great, but it's a fire.
Fire to fire.
But on the way back, uh, while taking your food and water, Carrick did notice that his water skin went dry after the second day.
Oh well.
So if you go without water, you suffer exhaustion, which means you roll a disadvantage on a lot of things like perception. But you could share water.
I ain't got no water.
So
Yeah,
pretty much would have been the morning of this day you realized that your water skin was empty.
Oh, right, okay.
Just share the water, basically.
Okay, so as you like set camp, you have one more day of water left in your water skin.
That should be enough.
Yeah, because you're only like 2 miles away from town.
Yeah.
And your rations are running low, but you have a couple days left each.
Carrick, you sleep first, and then I'll wake you.
I'll do.
So, as the sun begins to set and you're sitting on watch, Nobody's traveling on the road you're on. Don't really hear or see anything during the night, and your watch is peaceful. Nothing has happened.
Nice. What, Carrick?
As you change the watch, and Carrick's bruised and broken body is awakened from its slumber. The rest of the watch throughout the night also goes smoothly. You don't see or hear anything, and as the sun starts to rise, you do see a couple people starting to leave the town and head your direction.
Nice. Break camp. Um, sort of. We'll not even eat anything. We'll just break camp and start walking to town.
It doesn't really take that long to get to town, maybe like 30 minutes at the most. But as you're traveling along, you see the other people that were exiting the town in your direction. They seem to be just a small group of common folk that are heading out in the southerly direction. Some of them have a couple pitchforks, different farming tools. They're probably some farmers just to the south of Medford supplying food for the town. Doesn't take all that long, but you arrive at the battered palisade wall of Bedford. You can begin to smell the scent of smoke mixed with shit, mixed with salt from the sea blowing in. There is a strong cold breeze blowing in from the northwest. Chills your battered bodies to the bone.
Lovely.
The gates are flung wide open as the town is accepting in visitors from wherever they may come. What do you want to do?
Nice. Did I decide if I had a house or not, Andrew?
Neither of you have a house, but there is some secret lodgings within
Like
Medford.
a hostel?
No, it's someone within your organization has a house, a pretty good house within Medford, and you know that underneath the house there is a hidden basement that has a number of beds that members can use if they're in need of lodgings, which you have been staying in for the past while.
Okay. I think we'll just Kark.
Hmm?
I think we should split up, get some fresh clothes, do what you need to do, and I'll meet you at the tavern in an hour, and then we'll go deal with we'll go report to the guild about what's happened.
Okay.
Okay, so we will conduct Carrick's town-going business first. So now that
Okay,
you've
that's
finally
good.
got back,
Gonna go to the toilet.
okay. So now that you're back in civilization, is there anything you want to do before handing in your contract?
Need water.
So you want to go and
Water.
replenish your supplies, pretty much.
Replenish supplies and get a fresh change of clothes.
Okay, let's see.
Probably be preferable to
well,
burn
just-
the ones that I have on.
So you want to fill your water skin?
Yes.
Do you want to get a second water skin so you can carry more water? So pretty much you can carry 5 days worth of water in a single water skin.
Would I need more than one?
Well, you ran
How
out of
much
water
weight
on
is
your
it?
way back.
How much weight is it?
A full water skin is 5 pounds.
Ah, fuck it. Throw it in there then, Honor.
So you'll be getting 10 pounds worth of water. That'll cost you 3 silver. Actually, I'll add in the money and stuff you got because
Yeah, that's
I
right.
need to do that. So you're now at 24 gold, 82 silver, 270 copper. Did you get any more of this money? You did not. So that was 3 silver coins to fill up your water skin. Do you want to buy more rations? You have 4 days of food left.
Yeah, let's get some more rations.
One ration is 5 silver.
Get
So,
two.
so you started with 10, and you have 4 left.
Oh, okay. I've only 4 left. Well, then get 6 and go back up to
Okay.
10.
Ration. Where is it? Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So that's 15 gold. Or 15 silver. Never mind. Is there anything else other than fresh supplies of food and water you want to get? Change your clothes? Do you want
Change clothes.
to... There are the fine clothes that Beric stole from the house, so you could...
Too obvious.
Okay, so do you want to buy new clothes, or just, like,
How much are clothes?
common clothes?
I would buy new clothes because I am planning on using them clothes as bandages.
So, like, how good of clothes do you really want? Common clothes, fine
Common.
clothes, somewhere in the middle.
Common.
Common clothes are another 5 coins. So that is, there we go. Do you want to just get rid of the ones you're wearing? They are full of holes and cut marks and blood now.
Literally just cut up a couple of strips
Like,
from
as you
bandages
both
and
walk into the tide, you are given a couple of looks because you are pretty, like, beat up looking.
well, after I get this done, I'll go get a haircut and look refreshed. And I don't
You
know if I
wa-
have a beard or not.
Haircuts.
So you
No,
want to
I'm
get a
joking, I'm joking.
haircut?
No, I'm not only taking a piss. Well, what actually is my like physical appearance right now?
Whatever you want.
Like, I could shave the beard off, and then be less recognizable. So I'll just go for a wee shave. Shave the beard off.
Shave and haircut, or
A wee light
trim?
trim as well. We'll go for a wee trim and shave the beard off.
Let's see. Trying to decide which one of these services would pay the be the best cost for getting a shave. That is like a quite skilled profession. So if
Oh
you want,
no!
like, is this a clean shave or just like a little clip to trim it down a bit?
How much is a clean shave? Just out of curiosity.
From a proper, like, barber that wouldn't slit your throat, it would be a gold coin to get your hair trimmed and your beard shaved.
Fuck it, why not? Go on ahead. What I have? I took 14
Yeah,
from
you
the
have.
chest, and I had 10, and I had 10 to start with.
Yeah, you're at 23.
Ah, fuck it. Go on ahead. What's one gold?
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Buy myself a hood, and maybe a balaclava. Obviously not put it on right now, but you know,
So you want to buy yourself a hood?
just to disguise gear, a hood and old balaclava. You know,
Can't buy a balaclava.
You'd have to make it
Well,
yourself.
buy a hood, buy a hood.
So you wouldn't really need to buy the hood. It would just be something you could pick up in like the lodgings in town that the guild has. They've kind of got their own little, like, area, like the guy that owns the house barters stuff for people. So you're buying all this stuff off him, like, you're just going in, picking what you need, putting down the money, and out you go. So you
So,
have
like
your
a good,
hood. I'll just say
like
that's 1
like
silver
a,
because it's a hood.
like a good customer.
Yes, you've not been to
That
the
I
actual store yet. Like the actual, like, trader in town. You're just getting this stuff out of the the guild supplies.
That's fine.
Anything else?
I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to. Well, probably not. But how expensive is a normal bow?
Like a longbow?
Yeah, let's go with that. I haven't even used a short bow yet.
You haven't.
Just kind of funny.
A longbow is 50 gold. To your
Holy shit,
knowledge,
right,
it's
okay.
about 50 gold.
Okay, well, let's forget about that for now.
Depends on the quality and the reliability and who made the bow. That will change the price.
Alright, what am I low on other than that? Oh, oil.
Want to
I'm
buy
assuming
more oil?
I don't think I have any left.
Yeah,
I don't think.
you have 0 oil.
Let's get some more oil, because I like to burn stuff down. And a
You
candle.
do. You're kind of turning into an arsonist.
I need another candle as well for arsony. Just restock, you know? The last candle and oil thing.
Did you not have like 5 candles?
Oh, did I have 5
Yeah,
candles?
you still have the candles because you didn't cut a bit
Oh,
off.
fine. Ignore the candles. We'll go for...
So the oil is 1 silver. So how many vials or flasks of oil do you want?
And how much you said? A half a liter?
Yeah.
Fucking... 2 or 3 or 4 or 20.
Now these do have weight, by the way.
Go with 2.
Okay, so what you had? It's another
Yes.
2 silver. So these are just all things supplied by the guild itself. Anything else you want to do in town before you go to the tavern?
Got a haircut, so change my appearance, change the clothes. I am completely a new man. No. I'm still full arrows. Got a backpack.
You haven't used any arrows yet.
Do I still have 2 daggers?
You do. It's
I'm done. I'm going for a piss. Sort Jacob out there, would you?
okay. Okay, so now that you're in the town, what would you like to do? Or go?
I would like to first go to just the guild trader guy.
Okay.
First of all, get a new set of clothes, just dark common clothes like the ones I had.
Dark common clothes. Okay, so the clothes are 5 silver. Anything else you would like?
How armored is the breastplate compared to my leather armor?
Significantly better. So, the way leather armor works is like you start with a base of 10 for your armor, which is just no armor at all. The leather adds 1 plus your dexterity bonus, which is 3, giving you the 14. The breastplate gives you a 14 plus your dexterity modifier, but it's a max of 2, so it would be 16.
Do
you want to
can't wear the leather and the breastplate at the same time?
You would be like taking the you would pretty much get rid of like the chest area and the back area of the leather and could replace that with the breastplate for like, you know, roleplay reasons. You're just gonna switch out those parts, but you can keep like your arm and leg parts of the leather if you have any.
Yeah.
Do you want to guesstimate the cost of a breastplate?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see how close you get with an investigation check, because this isn't something you've dealt with normally. So, you would say if you wanted to buy one, it could be anywhere from 200 to 600 gold, depending on the quality.
I don't know if what a word or not.
Just remember, like, you know the blacksmith. The blacksmith isn't really an armorer. He mainly just melts down the tin, repairs, and makes like tools. and occasionally makes weapons and armor if they're needed by the time.
I think I'll just either sell or we'll just say that like the leather armor is destroyed, but like used to like cover. Just I want to equip the breastplate essentially and
Okay.
sell whatever's left of the leather armor.
You're like the leather you'd be swapping out is pretty much in tatters. Like the chest piece, it's quite
Just
beaten
finish
up at this
them.
point, but other parts you can use them and they still like supplement with the breastplate.
Then do that. What is the pinton thing?
Those are like little spikes you can hammer into a rock face and put
Oh,
rope through.
okay. Yeah.
Do you want to replenish your food and water?
Yes, please.
Let's see here. It'll be at 15 gold, 15 silver to get you back up to 10 rations.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then, do you want to get an extra water skin? The water skins are 2 silver, and then you could carry 10 days worth of water.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah.
And that's 3 silver, because you half the price to refill it. Is
You
there
need to
anything
take
else?
You need to take the breastplate off at the bottom of the
Oh.
item.
Yes, I put it up at the top. I will delete that. I'll also add in like the rest of the items that you got. So you have the spark bombs, which you still do not know how to really use or how they work. But you have
I got-
6 of them.
Did I have 6 of them?
Yes, because you took 5, Macaulay took 2, and then you took another one off Flynn before you left.
Oh.
You also have the quartz crystals.
I'm assuming the quartz crystals can't really be sold here. It's nothing someone really.
You could always try and sell them if you go to the right place.
Could you sell them at the guild? Could you sell them at the guild? I don't know.
Don't want
Better
to sell
find
them at the
out.
guild.
Okay.
And then you've got your 3 fine shirts.
Can you just turn the 3 fine shirts into so many bandages?
You want to just like rip them
Well,
up in
actually-
bandages.
I'll sell. How much would the 3 fine shirts sell for?
If you want to sell them, you would need to go to the
Go to
actual
the
trader.
The actual trader. Yeah, go to the actual trader after.
Do you want to
this.
take a guess at how much they cost? Oh, so it seems your carrying capacity is around 120. So you are encumbered, but you're only traveling, so it doesn't matter. I don't think that includes the backpack, so we'll say... Actually, I'm just going to take off carrying capacity because I don't know how to take it off. Never mind. But,
God, the inventory's gone. God, oh, there we go.
But, you don't really know how much fine clothes are worth. They're definitely in the region of gold coins. Not silver, like common clothes.
Yeah. Right, well, I'll go to the old shop.
Oh, so you're going to the actual trader now.
Yes.
Let me find my stuff. Hold on. Okay. Trying to work out which person it is that... Okay, so you've been to the trader maybe a couple times before. Probably haven't bought anything from it because it's very expensive. But it's a little small wooden building quite close to the dock side of the town. And from what you know, it pretty much organizes all trade coming into and out of Medford, both land and sea. It mainly focuses on the trade of goods with like caravans going in and out, but it also has a little small like storefront where people can come in and buy like common supplies and equipment or some rarer items if they're in stock.
Okay.
As
Doesn't have
you
dodgy
step
entrance,
in
no.
through the door, a little bell rings overhead, and behind the counter, you see a fair, slender, half elven female wearing some very fine clothes who is humming away to herself
Half
and
elven
doesn't realize
female.
you've entered yet.
Miss.
It's like, oh my, I didn't realize I had customers. Please come in, browse my wares. If you see anything, let me know and I'll
She
see
does
if we
well.
can make a
She is
deal.
kind.
It is actually my wares that I would like you to have a look at.
Oh, bring them out. Lay them on the table here. Let me have a look and see if we can
Uh,
maybe barter a deal.
I shall put the fine shirts on the table first.
All three.
Yes, all three.
He's like, oh, some exquisite pieces. I saw some like these not that long ago. Marvelous specimens, I do say. So, were you interested in selling all three?
Yes, yes.
So, did you have a price you were thinking of for trying to sell these for?
Convenient.
I was thinking, could I possibly get in-store credit?
Oh, you want to take out a line of credit to spend later within the store?
Yes, yes.
Oh yes, that sounds quite fine to me. For these three fine specimens, she's like lifting them up, spinning them around, dusting them down a bit. Looks like they haven't saw much use. So I would say maybe about 7 gold per fine shirt.
Jesus.
I was thinking more along the lines of 9 gold.
How about we meet in the middle at 8 and call it a deal?
Yes, 8 gold is fine. But before we end our transaction, there is one other group of items I would like to see if you're interested in.
Oh, how wonderful! Yes, please,
Uh,
please show me. I always love buying and selling new things.
These are nearly as beautiful as you are, and when I lay them out, just
She
land
starts to blush. Roll some persuasion.
the
See how
quartz
effective.
crystals.
Show how effective your.
Price goes up by double.
It's
Ooh.
okay.
She
Probably get the
blushes a
compliment.
little bit, but this is the kind of compliment
gets-
she hears all the time. So as you lay the quartz crystals down, she's like, "Oh, how marvelous! They are a bit rough in their form. Looks like they've just been pulled from the earth. Are you a prospector yourself?"
They were given to me in a previous trade.
Aha, I see. This must be what the locals have been talking about that Mr. Flynn found up in the mines. These are some quite large quartz specimens. They could be turned into some finer gems if you could find the right craftsman to refine them down into a finished state. At that point, they would be worth quite a pretty penny.
Is there one?
Oh, not in this town of brutes and gravel. You need to go to
What
a
about-
finer establishment than here.
Do you know one nearby? Berwick, maybe, or
Oh,
Storia?
possibly in Bedwork, but you might need to go to the capital itself to try and find somewhere of more notable repute than this gutter of a town.
Well, I might hold on to a few of them, but for the right price, I could part with 3 of them.
In their raw and uncut state, I'd have to say about the most I could do would be 10 gold for each.
I 12 gold each, and we'll have a deal.
That
Think
is
about it,
pushing
you
it a bit
You
too
said
far.
yourself, if you if you get the work done to these, they could turn you over a tidy profit.
That would be quite a bit of work I would need to do myself to find the required craftsmen and get them shipped back to me. So I will need to stick with my price of 10 gold on these.
How many of them
You
do they
can, you
have?
could roll a persuasion against her if you want to.
No, I think I'll hold on to them for now. But maybe when I get them,
Oh yes, if you get them cut and refined down, then please certainly bring them back, and we'll be able to renegotiate a much higher price for
yes.
these specimens.
Or just sell them in the capital when you're
But
there.
I then have 8 gold of credit then in the store.
Times 3.
Yes, for
No,
the
no,
shirts, it's 3, like for each shirt.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah, for each
24.
shirt. Wait, 24 gold?
Yeah, so it was
Yeah,
8
that's
per
3
shirt.
times 8.
Oh
3
god, I
times
didn't think it was 8 per shirt.
Yes, 8 per shirt.
Oh, right, that's okay then. Then our business is done here. I'm
Oh,
sure you'll
indeed,
see
please, if you find more goods out on your travels, please bring them to my lovely establishment. Is there
Shoot
anything
my
you're
wares if you have a coin.
Is there anything you're looking for today? Maybe you'd like to browse the wares I have? If there's anything I could interest you in?
Uh, what type of things do you
Oh,
sell?
I've all manner of goods. Is there anything in specific you're looking for? I can go out in the back and bring it forward for you to see.
Let me think. Bit of an odd request, I'm sure, but do you have a grappling hook?
I'll need to go check my stores and my ledger to be sure, but I might have such an item. Is there any more specific information about it that you'd like? Perhaps a rough price before I go look? It would cost about 4 gold, I would say, to purchase one if I do have it.
That shouldn't be a problem.
I'll go check in the back for you now. You hear, like, she steps out their back door, starts rummaging around, hear a box or two fall over, and then steps back in. You're taking a breath. Compose yourself.
Okay?
Like her hair's kind of messed up. Bit of dirt on her face. Like, oh, we did have this lovely grappling hook specimen here that was packed in the back of the store. It does have a bit of dust on it, but I can assure you it is in pristine condition. It's kind of like you can see there's a hoop for tying a rope around, then a bar with 4 joints at the end, and the joints have spikes that look like they bend in, so it's easier to transport and then can be pulled out to like the actual grappling hook shape.
Yes, that will do lovely. I'm sorry to give you
For
the
our
trouble of
already
giving you-
arranged price of 4 gold.
Yes.
That will leave you with 20 gold worth of credits that you're free to come to the store and use anytime you wish.
Yes, I think we shall. I shall say good day for now, and but I'm sure I'll be seeing you again.
Yes, indeed. If you see any people on their travels that look like they might have some gold in their
yes,
purses.
Barrack, by the way.
Yes. I am Runa Reed. My sister, Letta Reed, runs the wheelery and the shipping business in town. That is where I get all my wares. So if you need anything imported, I could always ask her to bring it in on her next shipment as she's out at sea.
Well, thank you. Have a good day.
Yes, a good day to you as well. Don't get your throat slit by any of these brutes and barbarians out in this village. Such a horrible place.
That is a hole, look.
It is a hole.
Right. Is there just one thing? Actually, I'll just roll an investigation roll instead.
Go ahead.
What is my assumption on average horse prices?
Oh, average horse prices. Take a look
Surely
I'm gonna
50p.
assume it's gonna be something in the
here.
range of.
What kind of horse? Like a donkey or mule, just a draft horse, a riding horse, a war horse.
Oh, like a riding horse.
A riding
gonna-
horse, depending on like the breeder,
Breed.
it's
breed.
probably between like 50 to 100 gold.
Oh, it's actually way underestimate that I actually thought it was.
You
gonna
do
be.
know a war horse would be anywhere from 100 to 1,000 gold, though.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting.
We have
just
not
for
had much
curiosity,
experience.
Is
horses.
there a stable in town?
There isn't like
Right
an
on
area
now.
to buy horses because no one in this area like
But
breeds
there
them
is
and
a
set up
stable
shop.
that like is sort
but-
of.
Yeah, people have their
Horse.
horses there, but you never know. Someone might be willing to sell their horse.
Yeah. Well, I do not have the money to be buying a horse yet, so I shall go to the tavern and
Andrew,
see
real
old
quick,
Jacobs.
Okay.
real quick, what was the condition of my leather armor? Is it fucked or does it need replaced
It's
or repaired?
battered. It's still holding together and it'll still protect you, but it does look battle worn.
Is it fixable?
Oh yeah, you could
Fix-
get it fixed for like half its value,
which
or
is
get it you don't know the exact prices in the area, but roughly, you would assume that the most it would cost is 10 gold.
jeez.
So like the more you keep fighting and getting like beat up,
Andrew,
some
to make
point-
it easier, I'm assuming you just put that gold into my.
the credit.
Yeah.
I've
or-
just put a thing at the bottom of your inventory, like 20 trader credit,
Oh right. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And
just so
leave
we
it
don't
alone.
confuse it in like a different store.
If it's still alright,
Yeah.
we'll do for now.
So
Andrew.
they actually have 19 gold. So much.
You
I
do,
We
yes,
have 23.
because you had like 14, and then you got the 5 from Flynn himself when you took his belongings.
Yes. Yes.
Gentlemen, don't really want to be a bummer here, but I have a lot of work on tomorrow, so maximum I'm staying up to the night is about 1-ish, if not a bit before. So
So 40
Yeah.
minutes.
I have a lot on
Yeah, okay.
tomorrow.
Well, keep her going then. I'm
So,
assuming we just
you
both
have-
meet up at the tavern.
Yes, you've both met up at the tavern. Carrick was already there as Barrick comes in through the door. So, how do you want to proceed your interaction?
A strong freaking drink for my boy Barrick over here, you know. Get the pints.
So,
going.
just calling out across the bar for a strong
Well,
drink.
Am I at the bar already, or
You've
who
been
rep first?
like sitting at a bench along the wall, waiting for him to come in.
I'll just who's the barkeeper? Jacob, isn't it?
Jacobs.
Jacob's 2 beers. As soon as he walks into the door.
So you just hold up your hand, shout out for 2 beers.
Yes.
He gives you a nod, awkwardly pours the 2 with his one arm, and then sets them on a tray as one of the serving girls is going by, and she brings them round and holds out her hand for the money, which I'm trying to find what price they are. I have lost the page. Do not
I think
know.
it's
Beer's free, Andre. I don't know what you're talking about.
6
Where the fuck was it?
Was it 6 copper for 2 beers?
They were really cheap. Do you want like just a strong one or a fine one?
Strong.
As strong as you can get, I'm assuming.
Just you know,
Fuck was that?
Pure ethanol.
pure ethanol.
For
100%.
pledge.
Let's fucking die.
Just fucking liver failure. Just.
Well, we will say if you want like strong ones. These will be stronger than the ones you had last time. So these ones will be a silver, since I cannot find the page
Potato, potato.
for the life of me.
Fucking hell, I
So
don't have so many
are
of
you
them.
gonna buy both?
I'll buy both, yeah. Buy both.
So you do have quite a lot of silver and copper.
Yeah, how much? What's the exchange rate for copper? Use some of the copper up if
It's
possible.
a 10 copper to silver, 10 silver to silver.
Throw 20 copper out.
Yeah, throw 20 copper at her face. So,
Wow.
no, don't take
Actually,
just seven.
hold on.
Just 7 on the friggin' thing.
Hold on. I've give you like the copper that you left behind that you didn't want to take. So we need to
Oh, flip, you have. Why did I
Yeah.
get 270?
trying to see how much
Didn't even-
copper you actually got.
I took some off, like, bodies, but
We'll do this. There. Just take the 0 off. It's probably
second,
good.
yeah, that's fair enough. Go with that.
Do you want to give it the silver or the coppers?
No, the copper. Use it up.
So, as the serving girl hands you out the 2 beers, and you just grab a handful of coppers and just fucking fling them at her.
No, I'm not.
You're gonna hand them to her or just chuck them at
You
her?
hand them to her. I'm not a cunt.
Okay, so you hand this hefty chunk of coppers to her, and she sighs, and then brings them back, and you can see Jacobs counting them out, making sure there's 20, and then sliding them into the money chest. So you now have both of your good strong drink sitting in the tavern. How do you want to proceed?
Sip away at my drink, and
Not exactly how it was supposed to happen, but yeah, we're still here, so lol.
eat
Oh yes,
slowly, yeah.
Macaulay. For your treatment of the rich and better off, you will get a wee inspiration die. For
An inspiration.
yes, so any
Then-
d20 roll you want, you can add a d6 to it, and you can do
At
it
any
once
point.
at any point, any
Okay.
d20 roll for your
That's the that
very
kind of thing.
for your treatment of the better off. That wasn't in the best interest of you, the player, but was for your character.
Okay. Well,
Because
that's the
that could have turned out so much worse, but you did it anyway, after much debate. So see, these are the rewards of doing things that could turn out bad, because your
so
character would do them.
if you play your character the way you're supposed to, yeah, okay, then that's fair
You
enough.
normally will get it if you do it
In the long
good-
run, if you survive.
Yeah, you'll mainly get it if it's something that could have been really bad for you, the player, but you did it anyway because that's your character.
Also, you need to pick your language and train.
Oh
I
shit,
haven't did that
yeah.
yet.
Oh,
Hasn't really
yeah.
come into effect yet, but you can think more about it if you want.
Oh, that's fine. I'll think about more. There's no panic on it anyway.
So how do you want to
Right.
proceed? Sitting in the bar, sipping your drinks.
I'm going to roll. What would I need to roll, Andrew, to recall how much money, how much gold we took from? Because I don't really want to take it out and count it.
207.
Two seven,
It's
yeah.
pretty engraved in your mind that you only got the 207.
Okay. Right. So, Carrick, what are we gonna tell the guild masters? Because we have to get our story straight before we go in here.
Well, this isn't gonna be easy. Quite a few people are dead.
Hmm.
They are indeed.
And they didn't die from explosions, they died from stab wounds.
Well, I guess you can say
While you're having this conversation, there is a loud ruckus stirring up outside.
Oh,
The
fuck.
hell.
What the hell's going on
Uh,
here?
Stand up and sort of take my drink outside to see what the ruckus is.
So as you step out to the door, you can see quite a gathering of people in the town square, and
You
up
fuck.
up on the step there is a clearly distraught young woman accompanied by four armored individuals that you recognize as the patrol that was heading up the road.
Right,
As
anything else?
you can hear a tale being recounted of how this young girl woke in the morning and her father hadn't come home, and she had went up to the mines to to bring him his morning meal, as she thought he'd been working hard in the mines, and found the
Found him.
brutally butchered bodies lying in the
Found him
streets.
almost decapitated beside a fountain.
Yes, that was her father. He almost cut his head off. And once she had discovered this, she ran screaming from the town, following the road as fast as she could back to Medford, and encountered the Lord's good men on her way back, who
I tell
helped
you,
escort her
fucking,
back to Medford.
fucking wolves, man, they've evolved. They can hold knives.
So this young woman is from the mining village and has recounted the tale to the guards, who are now recounting it in her stead to the townsfolk. And they're calling for anyone with knowledge of the events to step forward for a reward of 10 gold coins, upon it being proved that the information is true.
Lol.
I'm just thinking of all the bad decisions that's going through Macaulay's head right now.
Oh boy.
First one I actually thought it was hand myself in, but so fuck you. Who does that anyway? Who does that anyway?
Wait, can I have myself in for the reward?
It was fucking
I-
wolves. Give me that 10 gold.
The evidence needs to be proven true, though, to get the money.
Oh god. It's a shit show.
It was Thomas!
It's fucking Thomas, that's it.
Thomas butchered them all!
You've not heard any word of Thomas or William on your travels back, or in the hubbub of the town.
Eaten by wolves.
Well, we didn't bump into their corpses on the way back.
I
But
actually
really-
was gonna do that, but I completely forgot on the way back.
Oh,
When you met those guards with the cart, you were gonna have stumbled into them
just
dead on the
as we
road
jumped into
as
the ditch, it
as
just,
the
like,
guards
ran
arrived.
them.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do, but then I forgot about it. So it
Yeah,
was gonna
but
be a chance for conflict as the guards arrived with you standing over these two dead bodies.
Oh,
But
God.
now they might still be alive because I forgot.
Right, well, Carrick, let's finish our drinks and go about our business. So go in, finish the drinks. I put my drink at the bar. Thank Jacobs and
He gives you
and
both the
Lee.
nod. I look forward to your continued business at my establishment. Though don't drink yourselves to death like that
This
old
young-
codger over there. I don't even know his name. I don't think he even knows his name. That's the
What a
same
lucky
drunkard
guy.
that you both saw the last time you were in the bar. Again, passed out in the same corner.
Next time we're going in there and lifting his
That
pint.
drunkard definitely knows something. He's definitely there's a legendary quest there. I can sense it.
The end game.
He is a god just watching everything.
Uh,
Have you
Good
found
Fedra.
more? What? No.
so how do you progress? What is next?
Alright, let's go to the guild. As we're walking, me and Carrick will discuss our plan on what we're going to what we're
As
gonna
long as
say.
there's nobody nearby.
So- What you know is that you haven't actually been to the official hideout
Yeah,
ever.
yeah. Well, I'm
So
assuming
what
we're
you have
just
to
gonna
do
have.
is you need to go and talk to a man called Nathan, who you both know, but Beric knows especially well as the man that essentially like took you in when like all was lost in your life and
Yeah,
has give you this life that you now live. This is essentially the man that you owe your great debt to.
right. What's his name again?
Is
Nathan.
he?
Nathan.
Yeah.
Right.
Is he the leader of the guild or just like a
No,
boss?
No,
he's
he's
a high standing member though.
Oh, he's high stand member. Okay.
Though he is like your
He's
contact.
Brynjolf.
Pretty much.
That'll do.
So
right.
you have to go to like that safe house where
Yeah.
you've been staying and
Go
meet
to
him
the
there.
safe house and meet Nathan. On our travels, I suggest that we
How do you lie about slitting a
speak
man's throat?
honestly or tell at least a half truth
Half truth.
of how it went down. Uh, and we'll go from there. Yeah.
Okay. So as you arrive at the house, you follow the procedures of making sure no one's in the area, no one's watching. You go in and you enter the house. There's a couple people in it. None of them are Nathan. There's just a couple other members who are like in the living area, one in the kitchen. And then just after you see Nathan come in with a very dark look on his face.
Oh
Gives you
dear.
both
He
the
knows.
glare. It's like, I assume you've both heard of the news that happened up at the mine.
I think we should talk in private.
We should go upstairs. Leads you both to the upstairs floor. Into his room. He sits down in his office chair. He's like, okay, give it to me straight.
Explain. Explain.
Give it to me straight. I already know there's a lot of bodies up there. A lot of a lot of women lost their husbands, daughters lost their fathers. Might as well tell it to me straight now.
We arrived at the tin mine at about nightfall. Went, met the tin mine master,
Mr.
asked
Full.
for asked for 250 gold. Said something about that the guild didn't keep their promise to supply him with men, so he wasn't gonna pay the gold back. We told him that wasn't an option. He then convinced the workers and a couple of ruffians that he had working for him to try to bushwhack us. We barely, as you can see by Carrick's shoulder and my fucking leg.
I do see you have become quite well off with your attire. Pointing at your breastplate, that is nice and
Oh,
gleaming
Yes.
in the candlelight.
This is compliments of the mine owner. We, after the fight, we captured him. Basically, got him to give as much of the money back that he owed as he could, which was not all of it, but apparently he spent most of it, spent 40 gold or something of it to hire the ruffians that was guarding his mine.
Disappointing, but understandable.
He had the gold down in his house, so he went down to get it. Got it. Then, as he went to leave, he ambushed Carrick, and had to kill him.
So, Mr. Larson is dead.
Very dead.
Are you sure, like, you finished it? He's not gonna come
He
back?
will not be hearing from him again.
Did anyone else see you?
The only person that might have seen us was one of the mine workers that ran off in deeper into the mine, but it was that dusty and he was panicking that much that probably didn't get a clear look. I had my face covered. Carrick didn't, but
You see him just like kind of rest his forehead into his hand, rubbing his temple. So there might be witnesses, is what you're telling me.
might be, but they didn't overhear our names, didn't know where we came from. Very unlikely that they'd know it was us.
Okay. So
Gold.
there's bodies. The man who owns the mine is dead. And there might be people who at least know who Carrick is. And you didn't get all the money.
Yeah.
So you've done an awful lot of talking here, Beric. So, Carrick,
Why do I have
Tell
to
me-
do all the talking?
well, tell me what happened, and then this will be over. I need to get the story straight of what happened before I go to the rest of the council of the guild and tell them what's happened so they can decide what we're going to do.
Right.
If those miners recognize you, we can't do anything about it. We can try and hide you, but if shit gets bad, you're going to be out on your ass fending for yourself.
Okay, I
I'm
understand.
just making that clear now.
Look, what Barrick told you is basically how it happened. And the only thing I can really add is it was the one that was ambushed when leaving. In the house, Carrick was outside. Wait, no, I'm so bad at this. Barrick was outside. I was about to leave. The unman pushes me over and stabs me with my own dagger into my shoulder as he pushed me over. Obviously, everything I did was in self-defense. I attacked back at him, was able to get my sword at him. He was wounded. Barrick finished it. The miner that
I don't
seen
think
me.
none of that matters now. You know the
Oh.
facts. There's a
The
couple
deed
of
is
witnesses.
done.
People are dead.
If you can,
Left out of my bag. There's all the money we were able to recover.
at least you got the money. What about your other objective?
Oh shit.
There was a cave in at the mine. The mine owner told us that. I think it might have been behind the rubble. Don't know. What?
No precious stones, valuable ore.
Oh,
Nothing like
ore?
that.
That's what we were looking for.
Yeah, so we need to know what the valuable thing you found in the mine is. I'm assuming it was some sort of ore, a precious stone, a rock.
Yes. These crystals.
Ah, looks like quartz. Would be very expensive to get them cut, but we have our contacts. I'll have to speak with the council but I'm not sure if you'll get much of a reward other than getting dubious entry, though any monetary reward you would have gained will probably go towards making up the lost gold, unless you can scrounge together your own money. The guild needs to recoup its losses.
How much are we short?
I have
43
23.
gold,
I have 23.
either through assets or gold itself.
Hmm.
I need to get them the 250 gold, or this is gonna go badly.
I
What
shall
would you
put
have?
forward these as my tribute for my failures. I put the spark bombs.
How
On the
many
table.
of the spark bombs?
4.
That he takes one in his hand, looks over it. Some of the arcane inventions. These would be able to push the balance back into the green. The council won't be happy that money was lost, but they will be pleased that you were at least able to procure some items to balance things back out again. We'll need to leave quickly though. The crowd's getting on edge. We'll need to usher you out to the proper working space. He gets up, wraps his cloak around him. It's like, we need to leave now. After I leave the house, wait about 10 minutes, follow me out. Meet me on the north side.
Yes,
just-
sir.
Walks out. You can tell he still looks very upset with a grim look in his face. Like, he's made these promises to you that things should be okay, but he's not sure if things are going to be okay. And he's not hiding that.
Well,
He's
that
only
could've
left
been
alone
worse.
upstairs.
I'm assuming he has stuck in the quartz crystals.
Yes.
Gold.
And I removed the wrong item. Spark bombs. So we have 2 spark bombs. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
Damn it! I really wanted to sell those, but I was like, can't technically count as stealing from the guild if I don't sell.
Yes.
Well, that could have went worse.
Yeah.
But we're not out of the woods yet.
Okay,
So,
what do we do? Just wait 10 minutes?
About 10 minutes pass, and he has been gone now for.
Right. Just
About
walk
10
to the
minutes.
north side then.
So you leave the house, you can hear the crowd in the town square has gotten considerably louder since you first saw people shouting for justice, people saying that loud voices of the crowd shouting for a manhunt. The people are clearly outraged that this amount of people were killed within the village, seemingly most likely by someone else within the community.
Okay.
Doesn't take you long to make your way to the north side. As you step out through the gate, you can see that there isn't really a road here. It's more of like a short path that one person would walk on. This area is traveled very little. Nathan is standing at the gate talking to one of the guards. You can see him say, "Ah, there they are, my 2 boys." He is considerably older than you. He's like, don't worry about the elven one. Long story. Flicks the guard a gold coin. He's like, "Come, boys, we've got hunting to do. Got to get that bear that was spotted up north." And walks out to the gate. Guard gives you a nod, wishes you luck, and you're now out on the path to the north of Medford.
Lol.
He leads you into the woods, probably for about a good 20 minutes or so walk, without saying a word to either of you, and then veers off the path towards the mountains. Keeps going for almost a whole day's travel before stopping just before the base of the mountains where the terrain is getting very rough. Trees are starting to spread out a bit. Stops and looks at you both expectantly. Doesn't say anything.
Oh, do we want to say anything?
He doesn't want. He's not saying anything, but he's looking at you both expectantly, waiting for something.
Huh?
What are we doing out here?
Can you see it? Can you spot where our location is?
Perception or investigation?
Whichever one you want.
Perception!
Carrick?
Hang on. I'm blind. Perception.
Oh, his hell of eyes.
Yes. So as you are looking around, you're looking off like further up into the mountain cliffs. Well, Carrick, you see him. You turn around and see him like get down close to the ground, move his hand around, crouch along, and then point over to some rockfall amongst some cliffs and hills not that far away. Where now that he's pointed it out, you can see that among the rockfall there is a small cave entrance, pitch dark against the light. The sun is beginning to set. Like, very good. Not many people can spot the entrance from the outside. Come. The council's probably waiting. Lead you to the cave, and as you walk in, there's no lights. It's pitch black as soon as you enter, and you have to squeeze your way through about maybe 50 feet or so of a passway that you can only go one at a time, and enter out. You can feel the passageway open up, but your eyes can't see anything. He wouldn't let you light torches, even your elven eyes that can see better in the dark. There is no light source, so you can't see anything either.
Oh damn.
And then it's like, okay, if you want to get in, we have left this opening cave clear. So anyone that finds the cave will not know this is our location. There are two doors hidden into the rock on either side. And then he lets out a very intricate whistle. And one of the you see a light begin to pour in from the right side of the cave as the wall has like opened up. They've made a door to look like the rock and opened it up. It's like, remember the whistle. It's the only way you'll get let in. And leads you over to the door.
What was the whistle?
I'm not good at whistling, so just imagine a whistle.
Do the Hunger Games whistle.
I barely even heard that because of bad microphones on Discord. But
Yes.
Okay, we'll just do.
we'll just say you know the whistle.
Yeah.
And leads you through a small narrow tunnel, which opens up slightly to where you can see a table with a chair where there's clearly a guard standing writing down the names of who has come in and who has left through the entrance. You travel through another tunnel into a larger cavern that's well lit with some tables, some storage crates, and on the far side a pool of water. There is a small fire near the water, and you can smell you can smell stale food. This is where anyone staying in the cave normally eats at the tables. and you go through another couple doors, through some tunnels, into a larger room where there's a load of beds, lots of boxes at the foot of each bed, where maybe a good 10 people could stay and sleep the night. Then comes up to a final door, and this isn't just a normal wooden door, this one is more reinforced with like iron bands across it. Knocks the door, and you see a woman come to the door. Look out through, he's like, this is them. He nods, opens the door, and lets you in. You're then brought into a room about the size of just about the size of like the living room of the room where you killed Flynn. And it is clearly a finely decorated bedroom in this cave. And in it there are 3 chairs. The middle chair has a woman sitting in it with a like a scarlet scarf wrapped around her neck and some very fine looking blackened leather armor. To her right is a quite short, plump man, graying hair, and little bit of a scruffy beard. And then Nathan goes and sits on the woman's left. This woman is a Selma Holt, the leader of the guild, who you have never met but have heard many things about. She's sitting there, arms folded, looking at you. Leans over to Nathan as he whispers briefly what you had told him. She's like, you see her sigh like, so Nathan tells me you killed Mr. Larson. You killed the thugs that he had hired. You killed some of the miners. You weren't able to acquire all the money, but you were able to acquire the valuables he had found and replenish the losses for the debt he owed. The deaths are disappointing. Very disappointing. I would have expected more. Though, as long as nothing comes of it, then you'll be fine. So, tell me yourselves again, briefly, what the story is. And don't lie. I have a way of knowing about
We have
lies.
to roll for this shit now.
You can, if you want to like tell her the story and hold anything back, yes.
What do you
But
mean
we'll
hold
just say
anything back?
like, do you want to tell her like what you told Nathan, the truth, but not the full truth?
Oh.
Or do you want to tell her exactly what happened?
Thoughts, Jacob? I don't know.
Can't
Well,
really do thoughts.
you
We're
both-
sat right in front of them.
You both,
Oh no.
like right now, both of you
Oh,
either
right,
say
well,
or
okay, sorry.
type which one you want to do. Because you're both being
Oh.
asked this. She's looking intently at you both.
Right. Oh, we're typing
We're
in
going to
this
be
book here.
asked separately.
No, she's just waiting for one of you to speak first.
Right.
Wait a minute. What am I supposed? Am I just supposed to type it in the box here?
Yeah, like
Don't
just
press
like
enter?
when I say yes, or when I say go, both of you type either truth or lie.
Wait.
Okay?
I thought it was truth or hold.
Well, truth or lie, like the half lie that you told Nathan, or the
Okay.
full truth. Like which one would you tell her? Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go. Oh. Okay, so you're both on the same mind.
Well, half lie. What the thing?
Okay, so as you both begin to recount the story that you told Nathan, you will both, and he's nodding away like, yep, this is what they told me. Now you both need to make deception checks. You didn't have to do it on him because he is so trusting of Beric, knowing him as a son, essentially.
It's not a, it's not a crit, but it's damn. That's a good roll.
It was a good roll.
I really hope I don't do bad on this,
1.
cause that will screw us.
Oh.
Chances.
Now,
Hopefully she doesn't have anything magical, or we're screwed anyway.
now, as you're speaking, you both need to make a wisdom save.
A wisdom save.
A wisdom save. Oh, that's a good crit. You'll be happy you got that crit.
Where is wisdom save? Is it at the top?
Top wisdom.
Yeah. Okay, so as she's listening to the story, you both feel something kind of like a tickling sensation in your mind as she's staring at you both without blinking.
She's magic, bitch.
Carrick, you, because of your like elven heritage, you find it a lot easier to brush off whatever this is prying at your mind. But Beric, you feel that as you're beginning to speak, some of the words you say aren't the words you wanted to say. You're kind of muddling up the story as, like, you know what you want to say, the exact things you told Nathan, but you're kind of having to fight against something messing with your mind. You're kind of stuttering slightly as you try and push through on your deception. She just looks at you both, nods slightly, is like, okay, I understand. We'll just leave it as you didn't have any other choice. But if you find out, you won't
That's what she
have
said.
the help of the guild against the town. We will let those ravenous dogs do with you what they want.
Fair
So
enough.
just pray you do not get found out. I take it, Nathan, we already have what was requested. He nods to her again. She's like, okay. You're not permitted to use the guild services as you wish. Just make sure you're not followed and you don't bring anyone back here. And I mean anyone. Is that clear?
Yes, miss.
Yes.
Thank you, miss.
You're dismissed. She turns and starts speaking to her advisors.
See that on boy with no beard? I think he's a cunt.
So that's the first thing you say walking out the door, and you see him kind of perk up.
No,
Like,
I'm impersonating her. I'm impersonating her to what she would assume of me. See how that? I think he's a cunt.
okay. So you've now walked back out. The door has been closed behind you. You're standing in this room where all the beds are. You can tell from the tickle in your mind that she didn't perceive from you the full truth, but she knows that what you're saying isn't what happened, but she doesn't know what happened. She just knows it was a lie. At least part of it.
What a bitch.
It was a magical intrusion in your mind. Something you have not experienced